Today is April 3rd, 2016. And I love this lady right here. And I love some of the people in my family. I guess I should say I love my family. These are some of the very distinguished gentlemen that are in my family. I always say in my videos, do not believe me. Do not believe anything that comes out of my mouth. Seek what is objective. Seek what is real, obvious. Seek truth. Not as don't seek what your opinion is, because you have your journey has already ended if your preconceived notions are your final conclusion. Seek and welcome dialogue and welcome learning. Do not study. Do not study. Learn. Do not study. Learn.
But then the white man puts all these television shows out there, these lesbian television shows. And then you take a look at that and say, I don't have to get pleasure from him. We can turn in on each other and get pleasure from one another. You thinking you made your own choice, but he made it for you. You think that you have the power to change what he's put on you. Many of you today probably didn't see what I'm saying to you right now, but you are experiencing it in your own homes. The only way you could see what I'm saying is that God show you the mind of Satan. He's got you in a...
Listen, it's not about hue, pigment. It's about just and unjust. Why do you think you work? Why do you think you have to work and get up? Why can't you get up? Why do you think people believe that freedom is not free? No matter how high I get, no matter how high I get, yeah, they'll still be looking down on you. So this man has committed no sin, no crime. What did the terrible say should be his sentence? Crucify him. All right? Neighbors and friends and family, those would be the ones. I hate to tell you, those would be the ones saying crucify him. But anyway, let's go on.
Where you are dependent on the white man, on him. of this world, that means he already knows how many jobs are going to be available. He already knows that there are going to be so many black men unemployed. He knows this already. So the poor brother gives you children, can't get a job, you hard on your luck, now you got to go to Uncle Sam. Go down before the slave master and pretend that what? You don't have a man. Because if you got a man, they won't give you no money. Am I right? Look at this black man.
Witches and their broomsticks. All right? Witches riding their broomsticks. Okay? Dildos. Battery operated buddies. Women have been weaned off of men. But I am still a man. I'm still a man that doesn't need a woman to exist at this point. I left my host, which in some languages may be called my mother. I've left her. My mother hosted me.
You can't have a man in your house in order to receive help from the white man. So we know that you're not getting pregnant by yourself. Some man had to be there. But when you show up for help and assistance and money to the white man, the black man can't be at home. He's not willing to help both of you. So you go down there struggling with all your babies, force you into lying.
There is a very confident, very terroristic young ladies out there that's called the black woman.
Too much away.
Now, as a videographer, and I will share something with you. As a videographer, whatever you see, whatever is delivered to you might not be real. It might just be a little bit of reality mixed with creativity and technology. Tell me where you're from. I know. How did you make two of them? Where am I?
Hey, look.
Where do we go? Does it look weird? I know, it's crazy. It's special effects. Okay, now we're gonna make a video out of it. Okay? All right. Now who's Justice?
Hey,
make a video out. Y'all tell me what it's from.
I'm from Jones Island, Seattle. Where you from?
Philadelphia. Say Philly.
Southfield.
That's pretty crazy. Somebody gave me a warehouse full of old cameras and stuff like that. I didn't want but all the stuff they gave on the key. I mean, I think
So what you can do?
Hey, where did you go? Where did you go? Hey, I disappeared.
okay, now I want to do something with it. I'll call y'all in about 5 minutes. Okay. Say bye.
Bye.
Don't touch it.
So we are going to do this.
Y'all like talking about it. Okay, Justin. All right, that was a nice little respite. This is the new well, okay. The reason why I showed you that is because you can create an environment, but that doesn't necessarily reflect reality, although it could capture reality. I think these people shooting this video, I think maybe all these 3 people might be actors.
You're saying that I can't have a hairstyle because of your culture? Why?
Because it's my culture. You know what wrong with me?
Do you know it was an Egyptian culture? Are you Egyptian? Nah, Brad, you're not.
No. Are you Egyptian?
No, it doesn't matter.
Wait, where's Egypt? Tell me.
You know what, girl?
Where's Egypt?
Dude, girl, you have no right to tell me what I can have. Huh?
Where's Egypt?
Yo, girl, stop touching me right now.
Yo, girl, stop touching me right now. Come back.
Get off of me.
Come back. You put your hands on me? No, where?
But you know such some shit because you want what hair I have? That's no reason, yo. I don't need your disrespect. I don't need your disrespect.
Why are you filming this?
Just for everyone's safety.
Oh, that's good.
Jamie, didn't you play this character?
I know.
once?
But I didn't have as long of dreads. This is awesome. I got a lot of comments. I'll wait till you go. This is hilarious.
This video, okay, so first let me clarify some misreporting that's been done with this story. It's been reported that this woman is an employee. She is not an employee. San Francisco State University has come forward and they said, no, she's not an employee. Now, with that said, this video enraged me. Like, why are you going after just a random student who happens to have dreadlocks and antagonizing him? And then, look, you want to start a dialogue about cultural appropriation, that's one thing. But once you put your hands on someone, that's it. You lose any and all support that you might have. It's unacceptable. Do not put your hands on anyone. Don't put your hands on anyone at a Trump rally. Don't put your hands on anyone when you're having a disagreement about cultural appropriation at a university. Don't touch people.
Especially people who have like white dreadlocks. Like, that's dirty. Like,
it's so stupid. And look, like, honestly, you're
white dreadlocks are the worst. I'm sorry. I have to say, like, when I saw this, I thought it was hilarious. Like, I thought it is horrible. One, the woman is definitely high. All right, she looks. She's like smiling. She's like, "Come here, wait. I hate you, love you." You're right. You should never, ever. I think try and I don't know, start a fight with someone like that in a physical way.
Yeah.
She definitely wasn't. That wasn't the place to bring up cultural appropriation at all. That being said, white dreadlocks really do bother me, and they're nasty.
This is
and it's
so
funny.
random. Okay.
I'm sorry.
We all have a different.
I understand this.
I made that video just to show you. I'm going to talk about expressly the Hegelian dialect problem. You create a problem. You observe the reaction, then you offer a solution.
Stealing receive help from the white man. But when you get your check and it's more than what he brought home, you have more admiration and love for the white man than you do for your own black man. This is by design. They meant to break the black man because this is the white man's kingdom. He knows whose kingdom it is. He's not fooled by whose kingdom it is because he has no power in the white man's kingdom. Back in slavery, they used to send the black woman in order to teach or in order to get something from the slave master. You couldn't send the man to go up and say, "Master, I need this." You had to send the woman. Role reversal. If anyone is doing the opposite to you of what God intended for your life to be, is that your friend or is that your enemy? We have to understand that the condition that we are in as a family is a condition that we were put in. God didn't make us like this. This is the end result of slavery. We're the end product of what slavery produced. I heard the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, God makes a man. The white man makes niggas. In this Willie Lynch, brothers, you have to understand that your condition that you're in is reversible. We don't have to stay in this state. Well, you say, well, how do we get out? How do we get out of this condition? How can I be the father that I would like to be, that I know that I was born to be? In the Genesis, brothers and sisters, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and every creeping, crawling thing upon the earth. Stop. Look at God. The first thing God wanted to give you, black man, was power, dominion, rule. So if this is the idea and this is his command for you, to be a ruler and to be in power, you are never going to be happy until you are doing just that. God is our Father. In the book or in the Bible, it says, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord.
We all have fallen short of the laws. The law is only a mirror. The law is only to show you who you are or who you might be. sin. What is law spelled backwards? You all can read. I'm going to read. Often the law system rules that a particular country or community recognizes as regulating the actions of its members and may enforce by the imposition of penalties. It's convoluted. Law is convoluted, but law spelled backwards is wall. I had a revelation. I had epiphany that part of the deception is ambiguity. Okay, we got to look that word up. Ambiguity. Am, B-I, B-I-G. Ambiguity. Uncertainty or inexistence of meaning. Okay? A lack of decisiveness or commitment resulting from a failure. Okay, let's look this up. Spell. Well, this is going to be a long video. Spell. Spell. Verb. Past and present participles spelled. Chiefly or being. Let's go cast. I'll have to do this video another day. I mean, that particular part of it. But basically, what I was saying is when you spell, it's words. Your words have power. Your words lead into eternity. So use your words wisely. Use your words judiciously. And listen to the words of this very wise lady.
God giveth thee. Honor thy father and thy mother. It didn't give you any outs. Honor them if they were good. Honor them if they followed God. Honor them if they were perfect or bad. In the book, it just says, honor them. That's an order. That's a command. Why did God make it so? mother, so that your days would be long in the land. How long are we living today? Is our life cut short because of the things that we participate in this land? Drugs, guns, prostitution, homosexuality, murder. Our life is being cut short, which means we are not giving honor to our father and thy mother. There's a spiritual father, and then there's a physical father. The spiritual father has rules and principles in which to govern your life. Unless we are willing to honor those principles that God gave to Moses, Abraham, Jesus, Muhammad, our life will be cut short on the land. If you are not willing to honor the Father, then your life will be cut short here on earth. He sends you prophets and messengers to guide you. Why are prophets and messengers necessary? They're only necessary because we have strayed away from the right path. But he sends you prophets and messengers to lead you back to the right path. And in order to be led back to the right path, we must be willing to submit our will to do his will. Many of you are troubled over your parent. Some of us were blessed with good parents, and some of us were not so blessed, perhaps with parents that perhaps did not follow in a certain path or in the way of God. But nevertheless, the book says honor them.
One of the points, and I, I'm constricted by time, but there's I've had epiphanies and revelations here in the last couple of days, experiencing death in the family. And it's like death is like a light that exposes everything. But my father, because of the family that he was born into, you know, my father had a family before I was born. And I was dumped into a reality that is well defined. I was deposited into a narrative. I was born at the Charleston Naval Shipyard. Not a lot of anybody can say that. My father left me an inheritance. And I love him so much. I love him. Because I'm not my father. And I'm not my family. My father scholarshiped me. inherited me into my own being, and my being is invested in glorifying the Most High.
And my question is, what methodology would you employ to promote collectivism in the black community? Especially since you stated that black individuals are sometimes selfish. So, what? Can you answer that question?
Sure. Not are they sometimes selfish, we're most of the time selfish, and I would argue that not only are we stealing from our community, but we're stealing from our descendants. When we go out and shop, we're not considering our grandkids, great-great-grandkids, or great-great-grandchildren. We have a very limited view of existence. The average black person is concerned about his life and his life only. But when you look at other cultural groups, they plan 50 to 100 years down the road. They want to make sure that their great-grandkids, great-grandkids don't have to go to another people for a job. A lot of this is through conditioning, through the dominant society and the black church as well, that has made us ignore the role of culture and ethnic identity in everything, from politics to economics to your spending habits. When we talk about changing, you said a methodology to change. You have to change the value system upon which black America operates. Why do we spend $120 on a pair of Air Jordans? We value Air Jordan. Why do we spend $500 on a Louis Vuitton bag? We value white people's names on our bodies. So before you can change how we do what we do, you got to change what we do what we do. You have to replace the value system of black folk. We value European materialism, and we value outdoing other black folk. Will Smith said what? Black people spend too much money they do not have to buy things they cannot afford to impress people they don't even like. Do you realize how
the truth may come from a rock. The truth may come from just a shadow. Looking at a shadow. Looking at the wind, what the wind produces. You cannot see the wind, nor can you see the Holy Spirit, but you can definitely see what the Holy Spirit does. And you put your faith in money, in economics, but it exposes you. It exposes your values. It exposes your ineptness.
much of our economic behavior is motivated to look better than the next African? We will go into debt just to look better than the next African. So our debt is motivated by self-hate. You have to change the value system. A Chinese man, an East Indian, an Arab, whoever you name, they can have a store right next to your restaurant. Okay? It can be a blizzard outside. They're hungry. There's a black restaurant next door. There's an Italian pizzeria right there. There's a East Indian restaurant. The closest Chinese restaurant 10 miles away. He's starving. But guess what? Because he values...
Okay, I like this man. I like him a lot. But he described the East Indian and the Asian, where people are characterized by where they're from. There's two groups of people that are only characterized by a pigment, black and white. Who do you think came up with that shit?
Cultural commitment. He will starve until after work and take that 10-mile trip to that Chinese restaurant on the other side of the town because he values keeping his dollar amongst his own people. You have to change the values upon which black people operate because we do not value each other. And until we value each other, we will continue to be loyal to everyone but ourselves. Remember, it is the shared cultural experience of the Chinese, the Arab, the East Indian, the Anglo-Saxon, the Native American, the Latino, the European Jew that motivates them to want to do for self. It is that history, that identity, that ethnicity that makes me proud, that makes me want to build my own school, my own hospital, my own supermarket, my own distribution company, but for black folk. Because we were taught to hate it, and because they replaced our culture with religion, we do not identify primarily as what we are. We identify with who we believe. So for us, it's okay to buy from the white folk as long as he's Christian. It's okay to buy from the Arab as long as he's a Muslim. You see? So we changed our priority when they took away our ethnicity. And the only way you're going to fix it is put the ethnicity back. Your blackness, your Africanity, your shared African history and culture must be the foundation upon which everything else is built. If it is not, it will crumble. Because a house built on a weak foundation will fail, and you cannot resurrect black folks on a religion. Give them their culture.
Thank you, Brother Nasheed, for the great question. Yes, sister.
Hi, my name is Jalen Turner, and my question was similar to his. You kind of already answered it, but my question is, like you say, when you take a power away from a people, from a race, the focus becomes on survival much more than unity. And so most of the time we're in this catch-22. You know, I need to learn how to survive in a white man's world and support my family, or I have to sacrifice and kind of leave my family hanging. So where is the middle? How do we as black people don't have to choose from two extremes?
Wow, that's an excellent question. And you're absolutely right. Because of the war against black people, most of us operate in a desperation survival consciousness. Think about it. If you're preoccupied with survival, you don't plan for your children's future. If you're preoccupied with survival, you don't save money. Save money for what? I may not even be alive in 5 years. You see, that survival consciousness can only be replaced by us building a community infrastructure that shows black folk that the situation...
Okay. He's a nice man. But there's no such thing as black people. There's no such thing as that. I'm just trying to make a point. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm trying to convince you to unlock your, or to continue your independent thinking. Good night.